Anybody ready to worship? Generations after generations keep praising you, yet no word sums you up. Then I asked the Lord, what name fits you? And he said, yeah. Generations after generations keep praising you, yet no word sums you up. Then I asked the Lord, what name fits you? And he said, yeah. You're the hallowed one. Yeah, the holy one. Yahweh, the King of Zion. Yeah, the hallowed one. Yeah, the holy one. Yahweh, the King of Zion. Somebody lift your hands and chant the name, yeah. 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 Everybody lift it up. Say generation.
How does it look like it's so bright in here? Oh. Okay. I'm going to remove. Yo, what's up, Kiani? I'm gonna remove this. Actually, it's fine. I don't think it harms anything, me having the sorry, I'm not even talking into the mic. I don't think it affects anything. I think it's fine. Today's stream is gonna be very nice and short. Like I said, I want to try to see if Wednesdays we could just come, watch a Bible story, learn something by God's grace, and then move on. That's the plan for Wednesdays. Right now, I'm like knee deep in my projects that I'm working on for a career in cloud, basically. So I even now, like I was working on some of that stuff before I got online today, so hopefully we could spend the time wisely, and then, you know, oh wait, the song, okay, I think the song didn't show on YouTube though. Yesterday I didn't get any alerts, so I think the song part should be fine. But yeah, that's gonna be the plan for today. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to finish the video, but we'll see how it goes. Today this story says the incredible story of Jacob, the man who wrestled with God. I haven't watched this yet. I do know what the story is about, but I haven't watched this yet, so we'll see what it's about. Let me see. I need to have a way of putting this stuff on the stream as well. Okay, there we go. Wait, access denied from here as well now? You're joking, man. Yo, what's up, Wilhelm? You moved on to Bible studies? Yup. Was Destiny not cutting it anymore? Destiny never was cutting it. Destiny was never cutting it, man. Fair enough. I'm glad you're chasing what you're passionate about. Yeah, pretty much. Like you said, Destiny was never cutting it. I was gonna say I do still play Destiny, but I haven't been playing it much since I stopped. But I would still play Destiny. It's just I'm not streaming that anymore because I don't think it has the same amount of value that it used to have. Like what I did for the Destiny community 2 years, 3 years, 4 years ago, I don't think I'm able to provide that same kind of value anymore. So hopefully I can provide value in a different way now. That's the hope. I mean, I guess it's not just the hope, because if people do listen, I would be providing more benefits. But I guess you could say the same thing about Destiny. Game died down in terms of newcomers who were interested in learning. Maybe that could be the case. I think that even when there were newcomers, people stopped wanting to learn in general. Because, you know, there's a new raid in the game right now. Everybody is new to it. It's just a matter of like people don't want to learn. That's it. But all the same though, pretty much. Well, there was a new raid last year, but there's been new raids is my point. Like it's always been like to teach people has always been a chore, basically. It was never something that a lot of people were interested in. It was always a chore. So, but me stopping to play Destiny, like I said, even though yes, I didn't provide as much value as I was providing before, it's more of a thing of like I shouldn't say stop playing Destiny, because I would play the game any day if people wanted to play it. But me stopping to stream it is a matter of, I feel like even the people that I do provide value for, if those people are my friends, I don't need to stream for me to play with them. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like if I'm streaming, I'd rather be doing something else. Oh, that looked so weird. But yeah, my point is, like, even when there's a new raid, everybody is new to it. Do people want to learn it? No. So people just don't want to learn in Destiny, and for me, that's the value that I enjoy providing, is teaching people who want to learn. And there's not that. And then, like I said, if I just wanted to play with my friends, I don't need to stream to do that. So that's the long and short of it. It's just, I would rather do something that I feel that, like you said, is I'm passionate about, is actually fulfilling, you know, than just streaming just for the sake of it, you know. I'm kind of sleek waiting for this song to finish. It's almost done before I play the video, because I don't just want to stop it. I saw you on the first time I got on again and thought about messaging you, but you disappeared. You thought about you thought about messaging in the stream? You could message other places other than the stream though. Don't forget that, man. Oh, in game. Oh, that would have, even if I was still on there, that's probably like a bad idea to message me in game. That would be the worst way to try to get me for me to see something. All right, there it goes. All right, there's someone that popped up here that I'm actually looking at he's doing a live Q&A right now. I want to see what, I'm just going to check out what he's doing right now.
Link in the bio. Amen. Okay, 1 second here, guys. 1 second here.
I want to hear what he's doing.
Okay, cool. Alrighty, guys. 1 second.
Is this?
On this live. You guys got that? All right. Link in the bio. Okay.
Hopefully with the background.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, so let's continue here.
Okay.
Thank you guys very much. Let's.
I'm hearing like reverb or something, like there's an echo or something. Thank you again. No worries, man. Hey, I'm happy that you're doing good. Always good to know that, you know, everybody's doing better. You know, everybody's kicking it. It's possible that I messaged you and there would be no response and something could have happened to you or something could have happened to me since the last time we spoke, but God willing, we're still here, so it's nice. Oh, I see why it's loud now.
Real quick. Let's see here. Psalm 22. Alrighty, guys. Oh, you guys are wild, man.
Why? I'm hearing an echo. Like what? Like I don't know if it's just me.
Oh, you guys.
Yo, enjoy, Kiani.
Got that? Let's continue here. Link in the bio. Okay. Amen. Psalm 22. Okay, 1 second. Okay. So I think what it is the enemy doesn't want very much.
Bro, he needs to fix that, bro. Oh man.
Auto-tune. Auto-tune is crazy. Alrighty, guys. Let's keep pushing here. All right. Psalm 22. Let's just do 1 to 2. Verse 1 to 2. All right.
Psalm
It's all about
22.
Jesus, but I'm going to tie into how it's all about Jesus, okay? Psalm 22 verse 1 says, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?" Right? Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani.
What? This guy's actually
Why have you
that
forsaken
knowledgeable. He's speaking like Aramaic properly.
And it
That's
says,
crazy.
why art thou so far from helping me and from the words of my roaring? Think about that, right? Why has God forsaken me? Why are you so far from my words? What is he saying here? It's biblical. It's exactly what Jesus said. Verse 2, oh my God, I cry in the daytime, but thou hearest not, and in the night season, and am not silent, right? You guys got that? Okay. So I want you guys to understand something here.
Wow.
Jesus, right?
You know what? I'm gonna watch this on a different day, but it's very nice to know that there's someone like who streams around this time that does biblical content that I could watch. But what I do want to watch for today is this video.
Big
So we'll
journey
keep
of
this
faith,
going.
deception, and redemption that
Unless, I guess I could ask if there's anybody in chat who's watching, which one would you rather watch? Would you rather hear what the other guy is saying live on his stream, or would you rather watch a story, basically like we're watching a movie together. What would you guys prefer? Because this is what I plan on doing today, is just watch this, but I have no idea what the other guy is going to be talking about, so I might as well just stick to my plan. That's why I'm trying to do this. But if you guys would rather something else, I can definitely consider it.
Echoes through the ages. In a world where cunning often triumphs over integrity, Jacob's life confronts us with uncomfortable truths about human nature and the divine plan. Have you ever wondered how God can use imperfect people to fulfill his purposes? Get ready for a narrative that will challenge your notions.
This sounds so fast. I wish you could slow it down. Like, I want to hear what you're saying, but they're speaking so fast. I'm undecided. I'll chill here for a little, regardless of what you choose. All right, bet. I don't know. Maybe I play this on like 0.5 speed, because right now he's going too fast, but maybe he'll slow it down a little bit later.
Of justice and mercy as we explore the surprising origin of a chosen nation. Genesis 25:21 introduces us to a couple in distress. Isaac prayed to the Lord on behalf of his wife because she was barren. The Lord answered his prayer, and his wife Rebekah became pregnant. In ancient times, barrenness was seen as a curse, and Rebekah carried that burden for 20 years. Imagine the despair that must have consumed the hearts of this couple, heirs to the promise made to Abraham, yet unable to conceive a child. God's answer to Isaac's prayer didn't come without complications. Genesis 25:22-23 reveals the babies jostled each other within her, and she said, "Why is this happening to me?" So she went to inquire of the Lord. The Lord said to her, "Two nations are in your womb, and two peoples from within you will be separated. One people will be stronger than the other, and the older will serve the younger." Rebekah's pregnancy was a foreshadowing of the conflict that would mark not only the lives of her sons, but entire nations. The divine prophet
Want something that's easier for people to be able to follow and understand and grasp. It's a little bit too complex. Let me see if I can find something else. It might not be the same story, but I want it to be easy. And there's just so much of this AI stuff. I don't know which one's gonna be good. Like, what? I guess this stuff is not on YouTube. Is not where I'll find this. Maybe most of the good stuff is like actual movies. Let's see, maybe this. That already is sounding a little bit more friendly. Because I find that Jacob's story is one that's not that popular. So it's not a bad story to watch. Because I feel like if I were to talk about the story of Adam and Eve, for example, a lot of people have an idea on it. If I were to talk about even the story of Jesus, a lot of people have like a good amount of like knowledge of it. Okay, let me see. I don't want to put like Bible stories for children. I want to just put, because I feel like I don't want it to be too simple. I feel like there's a place I could go that it could get too simple. But this AI stuff is crazy, man. There's so many of it. So many of it. All right, we'll try this.
Samson was born a Nazarite and was chosen by God to fulfill his work in Israel. and he was given extraordinary strength to do it. The book of Judges contains the story of his life. Again, the Israelites did what was evil in the Lord's sight, so the Lord handed them over to the Philistines 40 years. Judges 13, verse 1. At this point, the author introduces us
God don't be playing, man. 40 years? 40 years is a long time for a punishment, man.
to a man named Manoah, whose wife was unable to conceive. Judges 13, verse 2. And there was a certain man of Zorah, of the family of Danites, whose name was Manoah, and his wife was barren, and bare not.
Seems to be a common theme here, a lot of
The angel of
barrenness.
the Lord appeared to her and said, You will give birth to a son, and that son, that miracle, would be Israel's next deliverer. Judges 13, verse 3. And the angel of the Lord appeared to the woman and said to her, Indeed, now you are barren and have borne no children, but you shall conceive and bear a son. This is a unique event that happens several times in the Bible, such as the birth of Isaac in the Old Testament and John in the New Testament.
It seems like whenever there's like a delay like that, God is cooking up something special.
This promised boy would grow up to save Israel from the power of the Philistines. With this role came a job condition that none of the other judges had. The angel told Manoah's wife to raise the child according to the Nazirite vow. This vow is explained in Numbers. Numbers 6, verses 1 through 5. The Lord said to Moses, Speak to the Israelites and say to them, If a man or woman wants to make a special vow, a vow of dedication to the Lord as a Nazirite, they must abstain from wine and other fermented drink, and must not drink vinegar made from wine or other fermented drink. They must not drink grape juice or eat grapes or raisins. As long as they remain under their Nazirite vow, they must not eat anything that comes from the grapevine, not even the seeds or skins. During the entire period of their Nazirite vow, no razor may be used on their head. They must be holy until the period of their dedication to the Lord is over. They must let their hair grow long. This meant he couldn't drink wine or beer, and he couldn't trim his hair. Interestingly, the angel advised the woman not to consume wine or beer while she was pregnant, nor to eat anything unclean. That meant her son would be consecrated to God as a Nazirite, even
What's
while he
up,
was still in the
Ace?
womb. Despite the fact that the heavenly visitor was speaking directly to her, the woman went to her husband and informed him what had transpired. Judges 13, verses 8 through 13. Then Manoah prayed to the Lord and said, O my Lord, please let the man of God whom you sent come to us again and teach us what we shall do for the child who will be born. And God listened to the voice of Manoah, and the angel of God came to the woman again as she was sitting in the field. But Manoah, her husband, was not with her. Then the woman ran in haste and told her husband and said to him, Look, the man who came to me the other day has just now appeared to me. So Manoah arose and followed his wife. When he came to the man, he said to him, Are you the man who spoke to this woman? And he said, I am. Manoah said, Now let your words come to pass.
Wow. I was listening to something recently where, wow, let me see, Judges 8, I think it is, or 13. Someone was trying to use this verse, to use the term I am, and said the only place where it was mentioned in the Old Testament was in, I think, Exodus, when God appeared to Moses. Now, this is an angel, but I want to see how this angel is described. I think this is Judges. Is this Judges 13 or 8? I think it's 13. Yeah, okay. Let me read this real quick. So you'll become pregnant, have a son. The woman went to her husband and told him, A man of God came to me. Man, I prayed to the Lord, pardon your servants. God heard, come again. The woman hurried to tell her husband. Okay, so it does say I am. Let me see the Hebrew Greek of it. Nah, I don't even. Let me actually check a different version. I don't like reading this particular version. It helps understand what's being said, but I feel like if I'm trying to figure out the I got not quite ready to sign up for. Bro, I'm signed up for this. Let me see 1 second. Okay. View the original Hebrew or Greek words in the text and learn more about them. This option is free in some passages of the NIV. Man. I'm trying to find what this actually says in Greek, but apparently I don't know how to work it. It's my first time. I was gonna try that stuff out. Okay, so there was a certain man of Zorah. Okay, so and his wife, and the angel of the Lord appeared to the woman and said to her, "Behold, you are barren." Bro. Why is it doing that? Maybe I could just make this extra large and reset this. Still not big enough for what I want, but whatever. Okay. Appeared to the woman and said to her, "Behold, you are barren and have not borne children, but shall conceive and bear a son. Therefore be careful and drink no wine or strong drink, and eat nothing unclean, for behold, you shall conceive and bear a son. No razor shall come upon his head, for the child shall be a Nazarite to God from the womb, and he shall begin to save Israel from the land of the Philistines." Then the woman came and told her husband, "A man of God came to me, and his appearance was like the appearance of the angel of God." Very awesome. Wow, that's surprising translation. "I did not ask him where he was from, and he did not tell me his name, but he said to me, Behold, you shall conceive and bear a son, so then drink no wine or strong drink, and eat nothing unclean, for the child shall be a Nazarite to God from the womb to the day of his death." Then Manoah prayed to the Lord and said, "O Lord, please let the man of God whom you sent come again to us and teach us what we are to do with the child who will be born." And God listened to the voice of Manoah, and the angel of God came again to the woman as she sat in the field. But Manoah, her husband, was not with her. So the woman ran quickly and told her husband, "Behold, the man who came to me the other day has appeared to me." And Manoah arose and went after his wife and came to the man and said to him, "Are you the man who spoke to this woman?" And he said, "I am." And Manoah said, "Now when your words come true, what is it to be the child's manner of life, and what is his mission?" And the angel of the Lord said to Manoah, "Of all that I said to the woman, let her be careful. She may not eat of anything that comes from the vine, neither let her drink wine or strong drink, or eat any unclean thing. All that I commanded her, let her observe." Basically, the man said, "I'm not about to start repeating myself." Oh, and the angel of the Lord said to Manoah, I'm curious what NKJV is going to say about this man, because there are very few people in the Bible who refer to themselves as I am, or respond I am to anything. Let me see. So, aha, it says angel of the Lord, angel in capital letters. I wonder if it uses angel for Angel Gabriel. I wonder if he uses capital letters there, because I feel like this is ESV. This is full chapter. Actually, I need to figure out exactly where it is. Luke 1:20, Luke 1:19. And the angel, yeah, angel, small letter A. So they're implying that that angel that appeared to Samson was Jesus with that capital letter. That's interesting. That's very interesting. That's very, 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 very interesting. Now it's a interpretation, but that's interesting. Keep going.
Boy's rule of life in his work. So the angel of the Lord said to Manoah, "Of all that, I said to the woman, let her be careful. She may not eat anything that comes from the vine, nor may she drink wine or similar drink, nor eat anything unclean."
Man, sometimes
All
I
that
feel like I
commanded
enjoy
her
reading
observed.
the Bible more than
Manoah
hearing other
probably
people read
mistook
it.
him for a mere man sent from the Lord and said, "Please stay here, and we will prepare a young goat for you." The visitor agreed to stay, but said he wouldn't eat anything. It would be more appropriate for the couple to offer a burnt offering. When Manoah put the burnt offer on a rock as requested, the visitor did something miraculous. He rose in the flame and went up in the sky. At the sight, Manoah and his wife collapsed.
Interesting. Wow, I've never seen this story. The way I'm thinking about this story right now, I've not thought about it this way ever before. Let me just say, I didn't even remember hearing this. Now I want to read that part where it says he went up in the flames. What? I ain't never heard of that before. Okay. So he said, "Please let us detain you and prepare a young goat for you." And the angel of the Lord said to Manoah, "If you detain me, I will not eat of your food." Why are they using the word detain? Interesting, because detain, that's like detention. It's like you stop someone and you just hold someone against their will. But then again, if you're asking someone, "Please let us detain you," it can't really mean like against your will, because you're literally asking them. So I guess the word detain is just, I've only known it in one way. But I think detain just means let's keep you here. Maybe it just means keep you here. But if you prepare a burnt offering, then offer it to the Lord. For Manoah did not know that he was the angel of the Lord. I guess when he came, he said, "Are you the man that told my wife?" He said, "I am." But at this point, this man didn't know. Okay. I can see how he didn't know. And Manoah said to the angel of the Lord, "What is your name, so that when your words come true, we may honor you?" And the angel of the Lord said to him, "Why do you ask my name, seeing it is wonderful?" Wow. So Manoah took the young goat. What does this statement even mean? Verse 18, let me see it over here. And the angel said, "Why do you ask my name, seeing it's wonderful?" That's, oh my goodness. Okay. Let's keep on reading. So Manoah took the young goat with the grain offering and offered it on the rock to the Lord, to the one who works wonders. And Manoah and his wife were watching. And when the flame went up toward heaven from the altar, the angel of the Lord went up in the flame of the altar. Now Manoah and his wife were watching, and they fell on their faces to the ground. The angel of the Lord appeared no more to Manoah and to his wife. Wow. I cannot wait to share this story with my wife, because I'm pretty sure she's not. Well, she might know it. My wife's she's very, very attention to detail when she's reading stuff. Anyways, Manoah said to his wife, "We shall surely die, for we have seen God." There is no way. Oh my goodness. I guess I could give you guys a little bit of context. There's a lot of, well, basically, there's an argument that people try to make when it comes to the New Testament and whether Jesus ever said that he was God. And basically, what is the reason why people in the New Testament, why the Jews didn't believe that Jesus was God, basically, or why they believe he was claiming to be God. So there's a reason why they didn't believe, but there was a reason they were thinking he was claiming to be God because of some of the things that he said. And this is one of the things that in the New Testament, I guess I can bring it up here. Give me a second. Because he's just made a similar statement to what he said to what Jesus said, this thing that just happened here. So let me give you guys a little bit of context. So we know it's verse 48. Let's read the full chapter real quick. So let's scroll all the way to okay. So wow, looks like we got to read a lot to be able to understand what's going on here. I could try to read it fast. Let's see. Okay. So again, Jesus spoke to them saying, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. So the Pharisees said to him, you are bearing witness about yourself. Your testimony is not true. Jesus answered, even if I do bear witness about myself, my testimony is true, for I know where I came from and where I am going. But you do not know where I come from or where I'm going. You judge according to the flesh, I judge no one. Yet, even if I do judge, my judgment is true, for it is not I alone who judge, but I and the Father who sent me. In your law it is written that the testimony of two people is true. I am the one who bears witness about myself, and the Father who sent me bears witness about me. Oh, I guess that makes two. They said to him, therefore, where is your Father? Jesus answered, you know neither me nor my Father. If you knew me, you would know my Father also. These words he spoke in the treasury as he taught in the temple, but no one arrested him because his hour had not yet come. This is still about what he's saying and what are the implications of what he's saying. So he said to them again, I'm going away and you will seek me and you will die in your sin. Where I'm going, you cannot come. So the Jews said, will he kill himself since he says, where I'm going, you cannot come? He said to them, you are from below, I am from above. You are of this world, I am not of this world. Again, man, okay, so I mean, at the end of the day, like, we're talking about Jesus claiming to be something. These words saying, you are of this world, I am not of this world. What else? I mean, anyways, I told you that you would die in your sins, for unless you believe that I am he, you will die in your sins. So they said to him, who are you? Jesus said to them, just what I have been telling you from the beginning. I have much this is the reason why people have issues with all of this, because of the way that Jesus responds. Sometimes they're like, okay, so like, who are you? He's like, just what I've been telling you from the beginning. I mean, what did he tell them? He said he is from above. He said he is not of this world. He said, what was the thing he said about he said, if you do not what did he say? Okay, yeah, he said, unless you believe that I am he, you will die in your sins. What was the first thing he said? Let's see. Okay, the light of the world. So he said he's the light. I mean, at the end of the day, he did say he was a lot of things. So responding that way is not that bad. You know, he says, whoever follows me, and the light, he says, is the light of the world. Whoever follows him will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. He says as well that he was sent by the Father, I think it's clear for people in that time that the Father he's referring to is God. And then they asked, where is your Father? Trying to confirm what he means by his Father that bears witness of him. And he said, if you know me, you would also know my Father. Very, very, man. Anyway, so let's see. So after he said just what I've been telling you from the beginning, he says, I have much to say about you and much to judge, but he who sent me is true, and I declare to the world that I have heard from him. They did not understand that he had been speaking to them about the Father. So Jesus said to them, when you have lifted up the Son of Man, then you will know that I am he, and that I do nothing on my own authority, but speak just as the Father taught me, and he who sent me is with me. He has not left me alone, for I always do the things that are pleasing to him. As he was saying these things, many believed in him. So Jesus said to the Jews who had believed him, if you abide in my word, you are truly my disciples, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. They answered him, we are offsprings of Abraham and have never been enslaved to anyone. How is it that you say you will become free? Jesus answered them, truly, truly, I say to you, everyone who practices sin is a slave to sin. The slave does not remain in the house forever. The son remains forever. So if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. Basically explaining what he means by, because you have believed in me, if you abide in my word, you will know the truth, and that truth will set you free. Same style of speech here, where he says, everyone who practices sin is a slave to sin. The slave does not remain in the house forever. The son remains forever. So if the Son sets you free, since he's in the house forever, you'll be free indeed. I know that you are offspring of Abraham, yet you seek to kill me, because my word finds no place in you. I speak of what I have seen with my Father, and you do what you have heard from your father. They answered him, Abraham is our father. Jesus said to them, oh, I just realized what their issue was. So he says, I know that you're offspring of Abraham, yet you seek to kill me, because my words find no place in you. And he says, I speak of what I have seen with my Father, and you do what you have heard from your father. So it looks like a differentiation. So why are they asking him this question then? They answered him, well, they didn't ask, Abraham is our father. They're like, whatever you say, bro, Abraham is my father. And then Jesus said to them, if you were Abraham's children, you would be doing the works Abraham did. But now you seek to kill me, a man who has told you the truth that I heard from God. This is not what Abraham did. You are doing the works your father did. They said to him, we were not born of sexual immorality. Wow, he's calling them out and telling them who their real father is. We were not born of sexual immorality. We have one Father, even God. Jesus said to them, if God were, wait, let me make sure I'm understanding that right. This is not what he did. Okay, so, oh, this is all what Jesus said to them, because this is all within quotations. You are doing the works your father did. This is not what Abraham did. You are doing the works your father did. Okay, so he is saying that they're doing something different from what Abraham's doing. They said to him, we were not born of sexual immorality. We have one Father, even God. Jesus said to them, if God were your father, you would love me, for I came from God, and I am here. I came not of my own accord, but he sent me. Why do you not understand what I say? It is because you cannot bear to hear my word. You are of your father, the devil. So this is where he's been going this whole time. It's not just about him saying Abraham's your father, or Abraham's not your father, all of that. He's also introducing the sin element and also expressing that the reason why they act the way that they act in wanting to kill him, even though he was sent by the father they claim to be their father as well. He said, you're of your father the devil, and your will is to do your father's desires. Basically, stop talking about Abraham and saying he's your father, man, because the way that you're acting shows something completely different. I know who your father is based on your own actions. Says, you are your father the devil, and your will is to do your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning and does not stand in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks out of his own character, for he is a liar and the father of lies. Wow. But because I tell you the truth, you do not believe me. Which one of you convicts me, of sin? If I tell the truth, why do you not believe me? Whoever is of God hears the word of God. The reason why you do not hear them is that you are not of God. So I believe there's two different things being spoken about here between the father. They claim their father is Abraham, because Abraham, the God of Abraham, is their God. So they're referring to their God and their father at the same time when they're talking about that. And here, not only is he saying you're not from Abraham, he's also saying that you're not of God, which is double entendre. Let's see what they're gonna say next. The Jews answered him, are we not right in saying that you are a Samaritan and have a demon? They're like, what is this craziness you're saying, bro? After everything you just said, we are sure that you have a demon. Jesus answered, I do not have a demon, but I honor my Father, and you dishonor me. Yet I do not seek my own glory. There is one who seeks it, and he is the judge. Truly, truly, I say to you, if anyone keeps my word, he will never see death. The Jews said to him, now we know that you have a demon. Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. Now we're sure it's clear you're a demon. Abraham died, as did the prophets, yet you say if anyone keeps my word, he will never taste death. Okay, so if you're claiming that Abraham did what you want, and you're claiming that anyone who does what the Father wants will not see death, then it doesn't make sense because Abraham is dead. Okay, are you greater than our father Abraham, who died? And the prophet said, who do you make yourself out to be? Jesus answered, if I glorify myself, my glory is in nothing. It is my Father who glorifies me, of whom you say he is our God. Okay, this is the first time I think maybe second time he's identifying his Father as God at the same time. Even though I know that's what's been implied the whole time, but I think this is the first time it's direct. But you have not known him. I know him. If I were to say that I do not know him, I would be a liar like you. But I do know him, and I keep his word. Your father Abraham rejoiced that he would see me. He will see my day. He saw it and was glad. So the Jews said to him, you're not yet 50 years old. How do you know what Abraham saw? Jesus said to them, truly, truly, I say to you, before Abraham was, I am. I know it was a long way to get here, but this statement where he said, before Abraham was, I am. This I am that is spoken about, that is used here, it's the same I am that we just read right here. Right here. And that's what makes it significant. But the point of why I was saying this is because people in arguments about who Jesus said he was or wasn't bring up the fact that the I am statement was only made once by God when he was speaking to Moses. But here it is, you see here again, which, I mean, I feel like a lot of people make some of these arguments based on the fact that they know that a lot of Christians don't know all of the Bible. which, for example, for me, I didn't know that this was also said here. And if someone said that to me, I would just think it's true, because the only place I remember hearing about I am is in the Moses story. So interesting, man. Interesting. Because it's the same kind of language here. Whenever people ask Jesus, who are you? What is, like, he say, what is your name, so that we may honor you? He always responds like this. He never just says like, or the only thing he says other than that is I am. Anything else you're expecting to hear, you're not gonna get it. Wait, let me see. Hope I didn't scroll too far. Okay. So he said, the angel of the Lord appeared no more to Manoah and to his wife. Then Manoah knew that he was the angel of the Lord. And Manoah said to his wife, we shall surely die, for we have seen God. But his wife said to him, because you see, again, when you're looking at, basically it's just three steps you got to look at here. They said they saw the angel of the Lord. Why is this man saying he has seen God? Unless this angel of the Lord was God and he was able to recognize it. I talk about like logical conclusions a lot, and this is another situation of like, when you're trying to figure out what certain things mean, what is the only reason why, like, even if the words don't make sense to you immediately, it's just, what does it sound like to you? You know, that's a good place to start. Don't mean you end there, but it's a good place to start anyways. Let's see. So, but his wife said to him, if the Lord had meant to kill us, he would not have accepted a burnt offering and a grain offering at our hands, or shown us all these. It's interesting. She also responded, if the Lord. She didn't say that's not God. She just continued with it. Or shown us all these things, or now announced to us such things as these. And the woman bore a son and called his name Samson. And the young man grew, and the Lord blessed him. And the Spirit of the Lord began to stir him in Mahanadan, between Zorah and Eshtaol. Interesting, man. Interesting. That's so crazy to me. You guys have no idea, because I recently just heard someone make an argument about this statement, I am. And basically, in the Old Testament, before Jesus was a human being walking on earth, when people heard certain statements, they knew that it was God that was speaking. That's the reason why when Jesus came in the New Testament and started saying the exact same things, they could recognize that, man, nobody else does this or says this unless it is God. Now, it doesn't make sense, because the God that they know is supposed to be the, person that you never see, the Almighty. So it's weird. Why is this person? Why are we seeing a human being saying things and doing things that our God in heaven is supposed to be doing? I can imagine why that would be confusing. But sorry, we're supposed to be watching this movie, and I've basically described a lot of what has happened. Is just because I was so shocked.
Collapsed face down on the ground. Suddenly, Manoah was terrified and said, we're certainly going to die, because we have seen God. He rightly equated the angel of the Lord with God. Judges 14 verses 19 through 24.
This guy also makes this statement right there, because it's so
Manoah took the young goat with the grain offering and offered it upon the rock to the Lord. And he did a wondrous thing while Manoah and his wife looked on. It happened as the flame went up toward heaven from the altar. The angel of the Lord ascended in the flame of the altar. When Manoah and his wife saw this, they fell on their faces to the ground. When the angel of the Lord appeared no more to Manoah and his wife, then Manoah knew that he was the angel of the Lord. And Manoah said to his wife, we shall surely die, because we have seen God. But his wife said to him, if the Lord had desired to kill us, he would not have accepted a burnt offering and a grain offering from our hands, nor would he have shown us all these things, nor would he have told us such things as these at this time. So the woman bore a son and called his name Samson. And the child grew, and the Lord blessed him. And the Spirit of the Lord began to move upon him at Menah-Dan between Zorah and Eshtaol. Manoah's wife named her child Samson. God blessed him, and the Spirit of the Lord began to stir him.
I wonder what the meaning of the
Samson for the work
name
prepared for him.
Samson is.
Samson made some questionable life decisions for a man who had been set apart for God's service since birth, ultimately proving that God can use a person in spite of himself. Samson went down to Timnah and saw a young Philistine woman there.
Timnah, isn't
told
that
his
around the
parents that he
same
wanted to
place
marry
where
her.
Tamar went
His
to? That's where
parents tried to
Jacob
speak
went to, I
wisdom into
think.
his life by telling him he should not marry someone who was not part of God's people. But they didn't know that his interest in this particular woman was from the Lord, who wanted the Philistines to provide an opportunity for a confrontation. Judges 14 verses 1 through 4. Samson went down to Timnah and saw there a young Philistine woman. When he returned, he said to his father and mother, "I have seen a Philistine woman in Timnah. Now get her for me as my wife." His father and mother replied,
Wow.
"Isn't there an acceptable woman among your relatives or among all our people? Must you go to the uncircumcised Philistines to get a wife?" But Samson said to his father, "Get her for me. She's the right one for me." His parents did not know that this was from the Lord, who was seeking an occasion to confront the Philistines.
I could
For
already
at that
imagine
time-
that this was the kind of kid who was already getting what he wanted. Because if not, what's he talking about? Get me this one. This is the one I want. Like, excuse
they
me?
were ruling over Israel. Samson was attacked by a young lion on his journey to Timnah, where his bride-to-be lived. And the Spirit of the Lord came upon him fiercely, and he tore the lion apart with his bare hands. This was a strong indication that he had been chosen and enabled by God for a supernatural mission. In Judges 14 verses 5 through 7. Samson went down to Timnah together with his father and mother. As they approached the vineyards of Timnah, suddenly a young lion came roaring toward him. The Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon him, so that he tore the lion apart with his bare hands, as he might have torn a young goat. But he told neither his father nor his mother what he had done.
As he might have torn a
Then he
young
went down and
goat.
talked with the woman, and he
I don't
liked
think
her.
I could even tear a
Samson
young
chose to
goat,
pose a riddle
the
to
mouth of a young
Philistines at
goat. What?
feast
I guess
that was
if it's a
most likely
young
supposed
goat,
to
the
function
baby,
as his
but
engagement party. The prize for answering the riddle within a week would be 30 changes of clothes. In biblical days, an additional set of clothing was a sign of honor and dignity. Samson, thinking about his recent kill and the honey that accompanied it, exclaimed, "Out of the eater came something to eat, and out of the strong came something sweet." Judges 14 verses 10 through 14. Now his father went down to see the woman. And there Samson held a feast, as was customary for young men. When the people saw him, they chose 30 men to be his companions. "Let me tell you a riddle," Samson said to them. "If you can give me the answer within the 7 days of the feast, I will give you 30 linen garments and 30 sets of clothes. If you can't tell me the answer, you must give me 30 linen garments and 30 sets of clothes." "Tell us your riddle," they said. "Let's hear it," he replied. "Out of the eater, something to eat. Out of the strong, something sweet." For 3 days they could not give the answer. The Philistines grew enraged when they couldn't figure out what it meant. The men threatened to kill Samson's bride, who was also one of their own, and her family, unless she could get Samson to reveal her the answer and share it with them. Frightened, she wept in front of Samson for 7 days, and finally he couldn't take it anymore because she had nagged him so much. As a result, he revealed the solution to her. Later, when the Philistine men parroted the answer, Samson knew how they had obtained it. The Spirit of the Lord came powerfully on him, and he killed 30 Philistine men in another town, giving their clothes to these men to keep the deal he'd struck. He
wow.
returned home after that, but not with his wife.
Bruh.
After some time, Samson brought about further destruction on the Philistines. He wanted to visit his wife, but her father would not let him enter her room. He had given her to another man because he assumed Samson was not happy with her. He destroyed their crops by catching 300 foxes, tying their tails together with rope and torches, setting them on fire, and releasing them into their fields. Judges 15 verses 1 through 5. Later on, at the time of wheat harvest, Samson took a young goat and went to visit his wife. He said, "I'm going to my wife's room," but her father would not let him go in. "I was so sure you hated her," he said, "that I gave her to your companion. Isn't her younger sister more attractive? Take her instead."
What's up, Screw?
Samson said to them, "This
Was it
time
only a
I have
short
right to get
stream
even with the
yesterday?
Philistines." I will really
when did I finish? I think I did like 2 hours yesterday. Yeah, I don't think I got to 3 hours because like 3.5 I tried to do, but yesterday I think I did just 2. I did, yeah. So yesterday's one was shorter than like the day before because I did to 5:30 I think on Monday.
harm them. So we went out and caught 300 foxes and tied them tail to tail in pairs.
I tried to share what I could share for the day and then, you know, get back to work.
The foxes loose in the standing grain.
Hope you're good though, Screw.
He burned up the shocks and standing grain, together with the vineyards and olive groves. The Philistines retaliated by slaying Samson's wife and father. And Samson, in turn, avenged the murders with his bare hands. Judges 15 verses 6 through 8.
Bro, they killed these parents.
Who did this? They were told, Samson, the Timnite son-in-law, because his wife was given to his companion. So the Philistines went up and burned her and her father to death. Samson said to them, since you've acted like this, I swear that I won't stop until I get my revenge on you. He attacked them viciously and slaughtered many of them. Then he went down and stayed in a cave in the rock of Etam. The Philistines besieged a village in Judah to pay Samson back while he was hiding in a cave. To pacify the Philistines,
I wonder if
3,000 men of Judah
Samson was also from the line of Judah.
That he had brought trouble on them by riling up the Philistine oppressors.
Yeah, I'm chilling, Screw. I'm doing well, man.
To the Philistines.
I'm making a lot of progress with the projects that I'm doing right now.
Only after they promised not to kill him themselves.
For the cloud that I'm learning, so that's good. Family's good. The weather is good. Can't complain.
You over to the Philistines, Samson said. Swear to me that you won't kill me yourselves. Agreed, they answered. We will only tie you up and hand you over to them. We will not kill you. So they bound him with 2 new ropes and led him up from the rock. When the Philistines saw Samson tied approaching, they screamed out. But at that precise moment, the Lord's Spirit descended upon Samson in a strong way. This was bad news for the Philistines. You don't want the Spirit of the Lord to fall down heavenly on someone you're fighting. Samson's foes were outnumbered because he was empowered by God's Spirit. Given his strength, the ropes used to bind him were insignificant. He found a fresh donkey jawbone and used it to slaughter 1,000 men. He was able to accomplish what would have been impossible without the Lord's help.
He found a donkey's jawbone? What?
As he approached Lehi, the Philistines came toward him shouting. The Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon him. The ropes on his arms became like charred flax, and the bindings dropped from his hands. Finding a fresh jawbone of a donkey, he grabbed it and struck down 1,000 men. After finishing his judgment on the Philistines, Samson got extremely...
You know, stuff like this is so, like, it's like, when you think about it, you read 1,000 men, you're just like, bruh, seriously? But the question is always, what if it happened? What if it actually happened? This man smacking people with the jawbone of a donkey.
Extremely thirsty and cried out to the Lord. The Lord graciously replied by restoring his vigor.
Oh my goodness.
It was dubbed
exactly solo flawless, bro.
And he judged Israel 20 years. Judges 15 verses 18 through 20. Because he was very thirsty, he cried out to the Lord, "You have given your servant this great victory. Must I now die of thirst and fall into the hands of the uncircumcised?" Then God opened up the hollow place in Lehi, and water came out of it. When Samson drank, his strength returned, and he revived. So the spring was called En-Hakkor, and it is still there in Lehi. Samson led Israel for 20 years in the days of the Philistines. When the Lord's Spirit descended upon Samson, he was accompanied
Sorry, bro, it wasn't the donkey bone that allowed him to do it.
The Lord's Spirit descended on people in response
Sorry to let you down, man. It wasn't about the donkey bone.
Since the time of the New Testament, however, the Lord's Spirit has
you could have had a chicken bone as well and be stabbing people with a chicken bone.
1 verses 13 through 14. In whom ye also
chicken bone go good though.
After that ye heard the word of truth, the gospel of your salvation, in whom also after that ye believed, ye were sealed with that Holy Spirit of promise, which is the earnest of our inheritance until the redemption of the purchased possession, unto the praise of his glory. Romans 8, verse 9. After to dwell in the Old Testament upon Samson, he was accompanied by miraculous activity. In the Old Testament, the Lord's Spirit descended on people in response to specific circumstances. Since the time of the New Testament, however, the Lord's Spirit has come to dwell in every believer. Ephesians 1, verses 13 through 14. In whom ye also trusted, after that ye heard the word of truth, the gospel of your salvation, in whom also, after that ye believed, ye were sealed with that Holy Spirit of promise, which is the earnest of our inheritance until the redemption of the purchased possession, unto the praise of his glory. Romans 8, verse 9. But ye are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit, if so be that the Spirit of God dwells in you. Now if any man have not the Spirit of Christ.
And then there's going to be that person who's going to be like, wait, if the Spirit of God is indwelling in people who are saved now, then why is everybody not killing 1,000 men with the donkey's jawbone?
He is none of his. That means, on the side of the cross, the supernatural presence of God is not related to the Spirit coming on believers, but to the fullness of the Spirit at work within us. The Spirit came powerfully on Samson for supernatural purposes. This same Spirit is still with us today. Galatians 5, verse 16. So I say, walk by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh. That is, we are so preoccupied with living life according to the rules of the world that we forget to recognize His presence in our lives. We should, on the other hand, be filled with the Spirit, which essentially implies living under His authority. Ephesians 5, verse 18. Do not get drunk on wine, which leads to debauchery. Instead, be filled with the Spirit. Samson's personal choices become even more concerning at this point in the narrative. Samson went to Gaza, where he saw a prostitute and went to bed with her. Now, for years, the people of Israel had prostituted themselves with other gods. Judges 2, verse 17. And yet they would not hearken unto their judges, but they went to whoring after other gods, and bowed themselves unto them. They turned quickly out of the way, which their fathers walked in, obeying the commandments of the Lord, but they did not so. They had blatantly compromised with the surrounding culture and betrayed the Lord. And by this season of his life, Samson, the leader, was openly living in a way that reflected what Israel had been doing.
I know the people were doing it. That was bad enough. This guy, the one who the Spirit of God is falling on, now he's also doing.
They guarded the
That's wild.
But when Samson was ready to leave, he simply took hold of the doors of the city gate along with the 2 gateposts and pulled them out, bar and all. He put them on his shoulders and took them to the top of the mountain overlooking Hebron. You or I couldn't carry these massive doors on blocks distance on level ground. This scene serves as proof that though Samson was outside of the will of God in what he was doing, God had not left him. Yet. Samson was in a downward spiral when Delilah entered his life, and he fell in love with her. In Judges 16, verses 1 through 4. One day, Samson went to Gaza, where he saw a prostitute. He went in to spend the night with her. The people of Gaza were told, Samson is here. So they surrounded the place and lay in wait for him all night at the city gate. They made no move during the night, saying, at dawn we'll kill him. But Samson lay there only until the middle of the night. Then he got up and took hold of the doors of the city gate, together with the 2 posts, and tore them loose, bar and all. He lifted them to his shoulders and carried them to the top of the hill that faces Hebron. Some time later, he fell in love with a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. It is not clear whether Delilah was a Philistine woman, but her loyalties lay with them and their silver. The Philistine leaders asked her to persuade Samson to confide in her about where his great strength came from, so that they could overpower
after the man carried the gates
and make him helpless.
And the posts,
they promised her a
they're like, yeah, we need to come with this guy with strategy.
16,
Smack us with a donkey jawbone, carried away the gate. I think it's about time we should go with a different strategy.
And how we can overpower him, so we may tie him up and subdue him. Each one of us will give you 1,100 shekels of silver. 3 times Delilah tried to learn his secret, while the Philistines lay waiting to ambush him. Each time, Samson gave her a false story about the source of his strength.
At least he learned his lesson. The last girl who he told this response, the answer of the puzzle didn't go so well. So at least he didn't make that mistake again.
When your heart is not with me. Judges 16 verses 6 through 14. So Delilah said to Samson, "Tell me the secret of your great strength and how you can be tied up and subdued." Samson answered her, "If anyone ties me with 7 fresh bowstrings that have not been dried, I'll become as weak as any other man." Then the rulers of the Philistines brought her 7 fresh bowstrings that had not been dried, and she tied him with them. With men hidden in the room, she called to him, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you." But he snapped the bowstrings as easily as a piece of string snaps when it comes close to a flame. So the secret of his strength was not discovered. Then Delilah said to Samson, "You have made a fool of me.
You have made a
lied
fool
to
of
me.
me. Like,
Come now,
are you
tell me how
serious?
you can
You
be
just
tied."
try to get me
He
killed.
said,
You're talking about
"If
you made a
anyone ties
fool
me
of me.
securely with new ropes that
You're
have
trying to
never been
make a
used,
fool of me."
I'll become as weak as any other man." So Delilah took new ropes and tied him with them. Then, with men hidden in the room, she called to him, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you." But he snapped the ropes off his arms as if they were threads. Delilah then said to Samson, "All this time you have been making a fool of me and lying to me. Tell me how you can be tied." He replied,
I guess on the other hand, like, the people were around, but he didn't know. I guess that's I would have to read the story, because if he knew that there was people outside when she's trying out the thing and saying the Philistines are upon you, like, bruh, there's no way he's just going along with it every night.
Head into the fabric on the loom and tighten it with the pin. I'll become as weak as any other man. So while he was sleeping, Delilah took the 7 braids of his head, wove them into the fabric, and tightened it with the pin. Again she called to him, "Samson,
Bruh.
the Philistines are upon you." He awoke from his sleep.
You're
pulled out the
kidding,
pin
man.
In the loom with the fabric. She also accused him of making fun of her. Of course, she wouldn't set him up like this if she truly loved him. He finally gave her the whole truth because she nagged him day after day until he was worn out. If his hair were cut, he would lose his strength and become like any other man. Judges 16 verses 15 through 17. Then she said to him, "How can you say, 'I love you,' when you won't confide in me? This is the 3rd time you have made a fool of me and haven't told me the secret of your great strength." With such nagging, she prodded him day after day until he was sick to death of it. So he told her everything. "No razor has ever been used on my head," he said, "because I've been a Nazirite dedicated to God from my mother's womb. If my head were shaved, my strength would leave me, and I would become as weak as any other man." Delilah was not one to waste time.
I've seen
While she
someone
slept on
cut
her
off a
lap,
bunch of
she
hair
shaved
that's
Samson's head.
been
And because the
in
Philistine
dreads
leaders were
for a
hiding in the
long
shadows
time.
and had brought
The
silver,
nastiness that
she was
goes
free
on
to
that
count her filthy
scalp.
money while the deed was done. Once Samson had been made helpless, we read these sad, pitiful words. When he awoke from his sleep, he said, "I will escape as I did before and shake myself free." But he did not know that the Lord had left him. Samson made the mistake of prioritizing his relationship with Delilah over his devotion to God, and it cost him dearly. This is proof that no human relationship, no matter how intimate, can never be more important than your relationship with God. Samson paid a high price for his transgression. Samson's eyes were gouged out, he was shackled, and he was forced to labor in prison by the Philistines. In other words, God's adversaries had taken command of his every move. This serves as a reminder that when God is removed from the equation, Satan takes control of the issue. Judges 16 verses 18 through 22. When Delilah saw that he had told her everything, she sent word to the rulers of the Philistines, "Come back once more. He has told me everything." So the rulers of the Philistines returned with the silver in their hands. After putting him to sleep on her lap, she called for someone to shave off the 7 braids of his hair, and so began to subdue him. And his strength left him. Then she called, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you." He awoke from his sleep and thought, "I'll go out as before and shake myself free." But he did not know that the Lord had left him. Then the Philistines seized him, gouged out his eyes, and took him down to Gaza. Binding him with bronze shackles, they set him to grinding grain in the prison. But the hair on his head began to grow again after it had been shaved. We get a sense here that God wasn't finished with Samson just yet. Why did we need to be told that
Always
his hair,
a redemption
which was the source
story,
of his
no
power,
matter what.
had started to regrow? His hair's
Just gotta
return
find
was an
your way
outward
back.
symbol that he was inwardly repentant in turning back to God. His repentance would become apparent in his upcoming prayer to the Lord. To capture your full attention, God sometimes has to take you as low as you can possibly go. Samson was at
Or
the bottom of
let
the
you
heap.
go as low
However,
as
his
you
hair
will
began to regrow.
take
The
yourself.
Philistine leaders assembled to give a huge sacrifice to their god Dagon, while Samson crushed grain in the prison. They were all set to rejoice that their deity had delivered their foe to them. At their gathering, the Philistines were cheerful. They
I guess
summoned
that's
Samson
another
to
thing God
entertain
don't
them,
be standing
placing him
for.
between the temple's pillars.
Is you're gonna
They are putting themselves
joy
in a
over the
position to fail by
captivity
doing
of
so.
his own people.
The temple was packed,
You-
and there
you
was
don't
probably
piss them
3,000
off.
people on the roof. Recognizing this, Samson begged to God for one last time to empower him so that he could bring the Philistines' roof down on them. He pushed with all of his power, and the temple collapsed on the leaders and the entire populace. Judges 16 verses 23 through 28. Now the rulers of the Philistines assembled to offer a great sacrifice to Dagon, their god, and to celebrate, saying, "Our God has delivered Samson, our enemy, into our hands." When the people saw him, they praised their God, saying, "Our God has delivered our enemy into our hands, the one who laid waste our land and multiplied our slain." But while they were in high spirits, they shouted, "Bring out Samson to entertain us." So they called Samson out of the prison, and he performed for them. When they stood him among the pillars, Samson said to the servant who held his hand, "Put me where I can feel the pillars that support the temple, so that I may lean against them." Now, the temple was crowded with men and women. All the rulers of the Philistines were there, and on the roof were about 3,000 men and women watching Samson perform. Then Samson prayed to the Lord, "Sovereign Lord, remember me. Please, God, strengthen me just once more, and let me with one blow get revenge on the Philistines for my 2 eyes." Thus, Samson killed more of Israel's oppressors that day than he had killed all the rest of his days. Samson, unfortunately, had succumbed to the idolatrous culture around him and made bad decisions. Nonetheless, in Hebrews 11, verses 32 through 33, Samson is mentioned in the Hall of Faith, along with other upright Old Testament heroes such as Daniel. And every heart should be filled with hope as a result of this inclusion. While Samson was far from flawless, he did get one thing
Far
right.
from flawless.
He
Oh,
believed
I
God
guess he
could
didn't go
use him to
solo
carry out his
flawless.
will. Therefore, let us trust God, submit to his agenda for our lives, and give him everything we have. There are also other great stories of the people of God, such as Esther. To watch her story, click here. And to watch the story of Angel Gabriel, who also gave messages from heaven, click here.
Huh? I hope that guy is not talking about what I think he's talking about. Well. I'm happy about that. Because like I said, I was a little bit worried about if I would find something that we can watch and learn from today, but we found something. The story of the story of Samson. We tried the Jacob story, but the way it was being told by the other person, just it wasn't giving what it needed to give. So that's the agenda for today. We learned something. We learn a new Bible story each day. Maybe by the end of the year, we would have learned multiple stories about the Bible. Because I think on Fridays I'm gonna stick with just actual like scripture of Jesus specifically. Jesus's life, I guess I should say. But for Wednesdays, we'll do things like this. Just watch a video about a Bible story. And I think what I did today is what I'll stick with. It's just I'll also read the Bible alongside it, see if I can get some inspiration there as well. But yep, that's gonna be it for today. Thank you guys for watching, chatting, listening, every way that enjoy the stream today. Tomorrow we'll have just, we'll just hang out. Nothing specific planned. We'll see how it goes. Have yourselves a lovely evening. God bless you. Take it easy. Bye bye.